Welcome to Crazy Cabin Fever Cocktails, episode 73 by Distilled Living, produced by Fascination Design. Tonight we have Aften bringing you a lovely cocktail. I'm going to let her take away and do the entire event. So take it away, Aften.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. So we're going a seasonal direction with the cocktail today because it's finally getting hot enough to bother me. And I have an extremely high heat tolerance, but we're getting there. So I wanted to use cucumbers. Keep it cool as a cucumber. Cucumbers can also be very cute. So this cocktail is called Cute as a Cucumber. And the reason for that is I'm going to play with some flavors that really highlight this very delicate kind of cooling seasonal flavor of this vegetable, but also show you some really fun garnishes. So we're going to use gin as our base here. Gin is a wonderful pairing with cucumber. I mean, if you think of the flavor in general, it's very light. It's not quite savory, not quite sweet. It just has its own sort of gentle, hint of something refreshing when we add it to a salad, or in this case, a cocktail. And then it's just playing with flavors that really highlight this kind of light note of a cucumber. So you don't really want to do anything too powerful. Lemon is a great choice. I'm just going to use a touch of simple syrup. If you use too much sugar with this, you'll overpower this flavor and you're going to miss it entirely. And then I'm going to have a little bit of a grapefruit sparkling soda to top it off with. So just sort of these kind of delicate, bitter, sour citruses to go with our cucumber, and then pair with our gin. Just a kiss of sweet here. So we'll start with the cucumber. Again, with this being such a very mild flavor, I'm going to do about 5 slices of, fresh cucumber. Always is the way we want to go. And the juice of this actually transfers really easily into cocktails, so you can muddle it or crush it a little bit, but just once you shake it, it's going to do well for you. And so I want a nice strong cocktail. So we're going to go for a full 2-ounce pour of our aviation gin. All right, good stuff right there on our cucumbers. And then for the other ingredients, remember just a hint of these flavors, nothing too strong to overpower it. So I'm just going to do maybe not quite a 1/2 ounce, somewhere between 1/4 and 1/2 ounce of my lemon juice, and then just 1/4 ounce of this simple syrup. So we're going to keep it super light, just enough to add a little bit of dimension, but again, really being careful not to overpower that nice, lovely, fresh cucumber flavor. All right, here we go. So I put it in a wine glass today, since we can add some sparkling water and do a bit of a spritzer. Got ice ready to go in my shaker, and we'll give it all we got. All right, and if you want to give us a little extra shake to get some more of the cucumber juices, go for it. You can taste it as you go and see once it reaches the flavor level that works for you. Give that a fresh strain. All right, and you can see it's got just a hint of color. So we're definitely going for a summery, refreshing drink, something that works after a day of yard work or whatever it is we do on these hotter days. And then we'll top it off with our soda water. So here we go. It's just cucumber, gin, which has a lot of botanical notes in it, a hint of lemon juice, a hint of grapefruit in our sparkling water, just a little kiss of sweet. So this is super light. This is meant to be refreshing. So to really give it a little bit of a peel, we're going to peel the cucumber with a peeler and play with the aesthetic a little bit. So there's a few ways I like to play with this vegetable when we're garnishing a cocktail. So the first, we're just going to keep it simple. If we peel off the outside right here, we can get these really nice strands from any vegetable peeler. Okay, so these are pretty easy to work with, and you can just drop them in your drink and kind of swirl them around, and you can see it through the glass, and it's just a nice, easy garnish that's not getting in the way of anything, but it gives a little pop of color with that fresh dark green from your cucumber peel, and I just think it looks pretty cool. All right, so I mean, if that doesn't say refreshing, you've got fresh peels of cucumbers, I'm not quite sure what's going to do it for you. So that's option number 1. Option number 2, for a fun cucumber garnish, we're going to do the same thing, peel off a long slice like this, but go ahead and grab a skewer. If you do too thin of a slice like I did, it's going to break. So we'll get a thicker slice there. Here we go. skewer here, and we're just going to kind of weave it in and out. You've probably seen this before. It's really easy. Once you give it a try, you're like, oh, I should have done this before. So you've got a really fun shape that can go on a martini, or, you know, it doesn't have to be a cucumber-based cocktail, but a little hint of green with a little kiss of flavor that's not going to interfere with other profiles that you have going on. So that's option number 2. Option number 3 gets a little more complex. You want to keep going with the peeler, but instead of going long ways, we're going to do short, and we want to get about 5 little cucumber rounds. And if you've got a better tool for this, fine, but a peeler works well. If you're pretty handy with a knife, you can just cut some thin slices. We're actually going to make a cucumber flower. I'm actually going to go with a knife because these are a little too thin. So we want to keep it thin so that they're malleable, because we're going to be folding these, but not so thin where, you know, they're just shredded and they're not going to hold any shape. So 5 or 6 slices, thin-ish slices to make a little flower. And I'll pick one and set it to the side. And then the other 4 or 5, we'll just pick these 4. These are pretty good. You're going to line up, I don't know if you can see, kind of like a little deck of cards. Just line them up one on top of the other. Take your singular one and do a cross cut. So just an X right in the center, right through the seeds. Okay, so set this aside. And then your lined up pieces, I want you to roll it as tightly as you can. So trying to keep them all together. I don't know if you've ever done a sushi roll before or something like that, but it takes a little bit of dexterity. You know, roll them up, and then we're going to this base piece will be a holder. All right, I'm gonna try that again because we want to get it really tight because it's got to fit through that little crosshatch. All right, and this doesn't have to be a cocktail garnish. I mean, this is really cute with food. If you ever do any like appetizer displays or charcuterie boards, you know, playing with vegetable garnishes, I think it's always a nice touch. But usually I do the opposite. I'll see a really fun food garnish and say, hey, that would look great on a cocktail. So you get kind of a flower shape here. And if you want to hold it together, go ahead and skewer it at the base. And this will hold on the side of your cocktail as well. So there's a bit more of a flourish. I know we got a lot of cucumber going on here. I wouldn't do this all in one cocktail, but pick your favorite, a little flower, a little swirl, or just drop the slices into your drink. And I think it's just really fun to do something easy, something that's quick, something that gives a little more of an aesthetic and kind of hints at what flavors you're going to be enjoying in this cocktail. And there you have it, cute as a cucumber. Cheers, y'all. Stay cool.